Jack here, JBF Music and Guitar Lessons, back with some essential 5-string sweeps. Now let's face it, these aren't essential, but these are the shapes you're most likely to encounter and are probably the most useful. In this quick guitar tricks, we're looking at 6 sweeping patterns that utilise 5 strings. There are more, so let me know if you want more content on them, but these ones are, I think, the most useful. Now, aside from shredding, these can be great for following progressions, using markers for hitting chord tones for specific intervals, riffing, maybe some call and response stuff, and just generally melodic phrases. The tabs are up on my patreon.com/jbfmusic, and the moment you can get access to them for just $3. Timestamps and chapters below as always, and if you appreciate the system, let me know with a comment and a thumbs up. If you feel like it, give subscribe a click and enable notifications so you don't miss out on this type of content. Alright, kicking off with the C major, pretty much this open C chord, but an octave higher. All of these examples are in triplets, but feel free to mess around with the timings and all that sort of thing. I'm sweeping down for the first 5 strings, then hammering on. I'm doing an upstroke and then pulling off, followed by 4 more upstrokes. If this is feeling a bit much, try checking out these 3 English style sweeps first with the card up there. But yeah, this arpeggio is in root position, going root, 3rd, 5th, root, 3rd, 5th, I'm doubling up that 5th, and coming back down the same way. So we've got 3rd, root, 5th, 3rd, root. A B minor next, it's the same picking as before, down through the first 5 strings followed by a hammer. Up, pull off on the high E, then 4 more upstrokes going through the B to the A strings. You might recognise this shape for the top of it in particular from the Herman Lee Valley of the Damned solo break from that Dragon Force Licks to Impress tutorial, more on that with the little I up there. Similar to the last one but minor here, we've got the root, flat 3rd, 5th, root, flat 3rd, 5th, 5th again, and back down, flat 3rd, root, 5th, flat 3rd, root. A minor this time, you can sort of see it as an open A up here. I've changed the picking a little bit here. What we're doing is a downstroke followed by a hammer from the 12th to the 15th. Now most people probably roll their third finger across the D and the G strings like that. I tend to use my second and third fingers. Again, I'm playing those both downs. So hammer, down, down. Carrying on down through the B and the E. Switching to an up for the 17th fret. Pulling off. Coming up through the B, G, D and A strings. Same kind of root position arpeggio though, despite these changes. Got a root, flat third, fifth, root, flat third, fifth, root up here. Coming back down, we've got the fifth, flat third, root, fifth, flat third, root. Now these two triad shapes, the one on the A and the D strings, as well as the one on the G, B and E strings, just going root, third, fifth. These are good examples of what I was talking about when I mentioned riffing or kind of melodic phrases. Say we had a kind of groove in A minor, a rhythm part, and needed to add something, let's just wing it. G major this time, and the same picking pattern as the first and second sweeps. We're going down 5 times, followed by a hammer on, then the pull off and up 4 times. So down 5 times, hammer on, up, pull off, up 4 times. This, however, doesn't start in root position. It's based on a G major chord shape, but we're starting on the 5th, then root, 3rd, 5th, root, hammering to the 3rd, 3rd again, pulling off to the root, 5th, 3rd, root, ending on this 5th. Again, I tend to use my second and third fingers here on the A and the D strings, rolling the 3rd. It's probably the most sensible thing to do, as you heard from that. I'm not particularly confident doing it. I prefer to just use these two, just keep it cleaner that way. I do, however, roll my first finger for the E and the B strings, because this guy seems to be behaving more than this one. A really similar idea for this E minor, which you might recognise from my Gimme Gimme Guitar Licks to Impress, where we swept through both Yngwie and ABBA's versions of that iconic arpeggiated lead hook. More on that with the little I up there. Again, we can think of an open E chord up here. The difference being the thirds, so in the G and the E strings they've been flattened to become minor. Again, 5 downs, a hammer, up and a pull off, 4 upstrokes. So it's going 5th, root, flat 3rd, 5th, root, flat 3rd, flat 3rd, root, 5th, flat 3rd, root, 5th. So again, I'll try to use my first finger for these G, B and E strings. I try to kind of roll my finger rather than just kind of straight like that, almost kind of pivot it. it's a combination between kind of lifting it up and rotating, and that's what I've had the most success with. Let me know what your rolling tips are, because I clearly need them with my other fingers. And again, with the A and the D strings, I'm using my second and third fingers. This is probably smarter, as I say, to be able to roll your third finger there. And then you can probably get some real speed on it if you can get the rolling down. It's beyond me with this finger for a bit at the minute, I'm afraid. Probably also imply a tiny bit of dampening here to help clean it up, so my palm's kind of meeting the strings after I play them. And a bit more on that with the card up there. Okay, a G major to wrap things up. It's the same picking pattern as the third one we looked at, that A minor I believe it was. So we've got a down followed by a hammer, down 4 times, hammer, up with a pull off, up 4 times. And you can pull off back to here, or sweep that if you want to kind of loop it like I did there. So I'm rolling my second finger in the same kind of way we pivoted the first finger, the last example, across the 12th fret here on what would be the D, G and B strings. So again, this for me is a kind of combination of rotating it kind of like that, as well as kind of lifting the pressure off this way. For me, the combination is the easiest thing to do. Again, some light palm muting kind of just on it, kind of helps the notes not ring into each other. If you don't lift your finger up enough in time, you can't really do that on the way back down. So you just have to be a wee bit more careful with that. I think that the notes rang into each other a wee bit in one of the examples I played through there, so just watch out for that. You want to try and keep it a bit cleaner than I did. In all honesty, this is one of these shapes I tend to try and avoid, because I never really like rolling my fingers. It's something I should really work on though. And this stretch as well, that kind of fourth interval stretch, particularly further down the fretboard, can be pretty taxing. Now, these have all been triad sweeps. You can, of course, imply modes like the little eye up there. But anyway, we've got another root position arpeggio here. We're going the root to the third, fifth, root, third, fifth, hammering on to the root, picking the root, going up to the fifth. Then we get the third, the root, the fifth, third, and then probably picking the root so you can loop that kind of sweep. Cool, so as a bonus tip for watching till here, shout out to the Lick Squad Elite, you guys rock! I've kept all these sweeps uniform in terms of the timing, so you can switch between them in any order if you're choosing. For the intro demo, what I did was played each sweep kind of once in the order we just looked at them: C, B minor, A minor, G, E minor, and another G. So to go through that slowly, we've got the C, B minor, A minor, You might have noticed I had to change my fingering a bit to join them up, ending this A minor on my third finger. So this means I'm using this third finger here for the start of this G major, using my fourth for the D, then I'm kind of sweeping it like I did before. Back to this second and third finger thing. Again, I'm just not trusting my rolls. And this means I'm set up for the E minor to play it in my strange little way without rolling any of the strings. If you're enjoying your newfound arpeggiated sweep picking improvisational freedom, let's face it, who wouldn't? You might want to check out this Ingwe 3-string sweep system. That's a tongue twister. This has been Quick Guitar Tricks, that's the playlist there. But yeah, hit subscribe to keep up to date with the channel, leave me a comment, check out the tabs on my Patreon, and enable notifications by ringing that little bell on the side if you feel so inclined. Cheers guys.